I mean, we're seeing a lot of cases. I'm certainly seeing a lot of clients in Ireland who are looking at their IP globally and trying to decide where the best place to locate it. And often it's a split between the US for the US IP and Ireland for the rest of the world IP. Obviously, there are different ways of measuring the value of IP between those two jurisdictions, for example. How do you see those two working together, the sort of DEMPI analysis and the US analysis?
Boy, that's a hard one, Anthony. I'd say the first thing to keep in mind is that the U.S. rules regarding risk and ownership of intangibles have been around a while. DEMPI is heading into the same area. They're trying to figure out ownership and not just ownership, but entitlement to benefit from the intangible, and that is under DEMPI is a bit broader concept. But I've looked at this straight on in real life and more from an academic standpoint, and done properly, you can equate the U.S. rules and the DEMPI rules and construe a consistent outcome. Are there opportunities for the governments to disagree? Yes, but done properly and with an appropriate analysis that kind of shades based on both analyses, I think you can get there, and I think it's worth doing that kind of arduous effort, because if that really is your crown jewel intangibles, you really should work on it. I will say that when you do, it sounds like a residual profit split. It probably is. And residual profit splits are maddening in one sense. If you don't have an APA or a map, there are many, many variables, any of which there could be a dispute between the two governments, and then you have to run the whole model again. So outside of a map or APA, there is a certain amount of concern necessary that you might not have full agreement. So bear that in mind. Try and actually address that in the analysis itself. Basically take some of the sting out of some of the possible different interpretations. Explain them away in the documentation so that the government that might have that perspective is a little bit slower to bring it up.
Yeah, I mean, it comes back to the sort of key watchwords, which were simplicity and clarity that you mentioned earlier. And I think that's always going to be important.